Hey folks, DC here, welcoming you back to another episode of Wolf Lodge. Over my left shoulder sits a 6-foot tall lumber mill, almost completely buried in snow. Today's task, dig that thing out. Let's get started. All right, here we go. First of 1,000 scoops. So for those of you who don't know, Wolf Lodge is a hike-in only property, meaning we're 1 mile away from the nearest road. So hiking in lumber would have been absolutely impossible for the thousands of board feet that we need to make the cabin. So we decided instead to purchase a lumber mill and harvest trees right off the property to build the cabin. The reason why I put in so much effort into digging this thing out instead of just letting it melt out is that we really want to reach our dried in goal. In order to do that, we need a front door framed and installed. And with no lumber at the moment, this thing needs to be back in service. To give you some sort of idea on just what kind of winter we had here at the property that sits at 10,700 feet of elevation, it's the beginning of June and the snowpack is still being measured in feet. So some of you may be saying to yourself, you know, you wouldn't have to go through all this trouble digging this thing out if you would have just put a simple structure over this lumber mill and protect it. Well, the cabin has always been first and foremost priority number one. And last fall, my main priority was to put that metal roof on and protect that structure. Unfortunately, this lumber mill was a little bit lower on the priority for protection than the cabin. So last fall, right before the snows came, I just threw a tarp over it and pretty much wished it good luck. Manufacturers engineer these lumber mills to be incredibly tough, so I was fairly confident that it would withstand the winter with just a tarp over it. My plan in the future is to build some sort of structure, put a roof on top of it, and protect it a little bit better for the winters to come. Alright, we got the bottom of the tarp there. It's about the bottom of the lumber mill head. Start to get your first glimpses of it underneath there. And the track goes down about another foot and a half. So we're getting closer. Alright, you can see we're down to the track. I think a little more digging and should be able to get this thing uncovered. All right, guys, I just spent a better part of the day digging out this lumber mill head, and you can really start to get an idea of just how much snow is here. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think I got it dug out enough to where I can get this tarp off and we can see if this thing survived the winter. Okay, on first inspection, everything looks to be okay. No major damage that I can see of. Let's see if we can't get this thing started. Check the oil here. And the oil is in the hash marks. Okay, it survived the winter. Now I want to stress that I don't recommend anybody treating a machine that's this expensive or this detrimental to a project in this manner. I was under the gun last fall to get the roof on, and before it started snowing, this machine got neglected a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance to it to bring it back up to running condition. I'm going to grease the bearings, do an oil change, do some track maintenance, get it all back to level, and this machine should start producing lumber again. Now, if it's any testament to how well these things are engineered and built, this thing just survived an entire winter under all this. Come around back here. You can start to see the track. Now this track runs 20 feet in this direction. So you can see we got a lot more work to do. But my body is completely spent for the day, and I think it was huge that we just got the mill head exposed. So tomorrow I'm gonna come back and do some more digging on this section and try to get that track exposed. Dude, it is going off right now up here. Woo! Okay guys, welcome back to day 2 on the big dig. We left off yesterday with the sawmill head exposed and a little bit of the track exposed. A track that extends about 20 feet in this direction underneath all this snow. Today's objective, to get more of that track exposed. So I thought a little bit about this last night. I don't need all 20 feet of this track exposed, just about 10, 12 feet total. That is because our main goal here is to get that door framed in, and the largest piece of 2x6 needed in that framing is about 10 feet. So we don't need this whole track exposed. Just about 10, 12, somewhere in that range exposed. I probably got about half of that already, and I'm gonna get started exposing the other half. So let's get to it. All right, day 2 of the abuse begins. Alright guys, it was a tough afternoon. My shoulder really started hurting there at the end, but as you can see, we got a lot more of the track exposed. Let's go see if it's enough. So again, the whole reason why I dug this thing out and put all this manual labor into this is because we want to reach our dried in goal sooner rather than later. Now I could have let Mother Nature take its course and let all this snow melt, but that could be a month from now. So it was worth it to me to just put in the time and effort and get this thing dug out. The largest 2x6 in the framing for that door is 10 feet. So we need at least 10 feet of track exposed in order to get the size 2x6 that we need. Let's see what we got. Alright, so we got 14 feet to the dog and about 15 feet to where the edge of the wall is. Now the dog is what clamps the log into place, and the butt end of the log is going to sit right about where my thumb is. So as you can see, we got plenty of room to work with to get the 10-foot 2x6s that we need to frame that door in. Alright guys, that's going to conclude this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and tune in next time as we go find a tree to put on this lumber mill to turn into dimensional lumber. I'm DC, and I hope to see you next time here at Wolf Lodge.